Here we're doing pretty good with all the watering. We do have a few trays that might need to be switched around. Like this one right here at the radishes looks pretty dry. Probably just need to be out here at 7:34 when the water goes off and adjust them, right? But an interesting thing, a few weeks ago we noticed we had some bites out of our radishes, and the ones out here are looking pretty good right now, but we've been trying to catch whatever the thing is that's been doing the bites. And remarkably, yesterday I came out here and the bait we have in here is a cherry, right? Well, the only thing that was left in here was the pit. And I see we still have a cherry in here, but I think it ate off the top of it. I don't know, I'm gonna have to check with Mr. Painter and see how much of a cherry he put in there. But what we're thinking is, instead of going over the top to get to the cherry, it's actually going under the plate, because it's clearly been eating a cherry. In fact, there was a whole cherry here that was on the floor that's totally been eaten, and we haven't caught anything, so that's quite interesting. This lettuce is doing fabulous. This is going to be cruciferous to go out in the winter garden once our temperatures drop a little more. So we have a few cabbage over here. And this tray really is kind of dry, but the water is about to go off. I've got about 8 minutes before that happens. I'll be able to adjust those bubblers. This is cruciferous that never really did anything, but these leaves are completely viable and fabulous for putting in your soups and stews, so that will definitely happen. Over here we have a bunch of peppers that are growing, young peppers, and I keep trying to start more pineapples, because I had 2 that I actually succeeded in starting in this basket over here, but so far those 2 are the only 2 that have made. This one clearly didn't, but pineapples are a great companion to pepper plants, and the peppers really seem to like them. So if you can get a pepper to start in your pineapple to start in your peppers, that is a great addition. We gave up on strawberries in this tray, and we have added onion seeds, and we have leeks that are going that we started as companions with the strawberries. So we'll see if we get any of those onions to germinate. Over here we have a bunch of peppers that have come up. These ones were a little ahead of these guys right here. It's a bit bigger. And when you look, you can see spider mite damage on some of the leaves right there if you look closely. They're so small, they're very hard to see. Sometimes they look black, sometimes they look white. Actually not. Thanks for asking, Noah. Good morning, welcome to the channel. But we're getting some flowers up here. You can see our tomatoes over here. These ones weirdly got really tall and grew up over the lights. And you can kind of see we're starting to get some blooms on some of these. So soon we'll get some tomatoes up here. These ones I thinned out quite a bit because they had a lot of spider mite damage. And they're actually getting some blooms, I think. Let's see if I can find them. They were anyway. Looks like we still have a little bit of damage in there. And this soil is pretty dry back there, so I need to look at that water. We have some Swiss chard in this tray here, and some spider mite damage. I don't know if you can see that very well in the video. And a bunch of bok choy, some rapini. It's a pretty awesome tray. Over here we had some loss because we had too much water on this side, the opposite problem of that side. And so we restarted some herbs, and there's like a whole bunch of herbs coming up. So back here we have a bunch of thyme. And I'm kind of thinking these tarragon seeds might be kind of old. I'm not seeing anything happening there. We have a little chamomile coming up and some oregano. And this is echinacea, the bigger leaves. And we have some cilantro coming up, which is excellent. I love cilantro. These are some more peppers that we started, and you can see we have some more coming up here, which is awesome. Now this right here, this is super interesting. So I have a bunch of seeds in the garden on the tops of the onion blooms, right? Because they go to seed at some point. And they actually were starting to make little onions on the blooms. And so I picked those off and I stuck them in the dirt. And they seem to be taking, which is pretty awesome. Peppers are a companion plant to almost everything that you grow. And these ones here seem to be making it. Here's another one right here. So yeah, I just stuck them in there. I've never actually had that happen before. There's one back here. These are leaves that came off the peppers. Can you see that one in the very back? Probably not. Anyway, that's pretty cool. So I'm watching to see if we get more of the onions actually making on the top of the onion blooms. It's crazy. Never seen that happen before. There's a couple more of the smaller ones that I put in there. They seem to like being stuck in the dirt though, so I'm thinking that might be a cool way to start your onions. Just let them go to seed and let the onions start to grow on the end of the bloom. Anybody else ever have that happen before? This right here is a dead kohlrabi, so that, I don't know, we had too much water at one point. We just recently added a water system, and we've really had to work to get the water level right. Too much versus too little, right? You can actually do more damage with too much water than not enough. And it looks like the seed that I put on this side was viable seed, and the seed that I put on this side is not. These are some dead things where they got overwatered and they weren't happy, unfortunately. And down here, these ones were not close enough to the light and they're falling over, so that's kind of a bummer too. I might be able to add more dirt to that tray to fix that possibly. Down here we have a bunch of growing, and I don't know if I'll actually succeed in getting beets in this room or if I'll just get beet greens possibly. Beet greens are actually very good for you too. This tray right here is one of our early trays. It's been very successful. It's a mixture of kohlrabi, kale, and Norwegian spinach, and a little bit of Swiss chard. And that tray is really happy in this room, and that's awesome because we have plenty of salad greens. That and this lettuce looks pretty happy in this space. But I need more water in this tray here so that we can actually get more radishes, right? You can see we have some uneven watering with our water system. And this tray over here, I'll show you. This tray here is one of our early trays, and the peppers have really thrived in here. And this is the one with the pineapples growing up in the middle, right? There's like 2 pineapple plants in here, which is really pretty cool. They look a little skinny, but they are very green and they're happy. And the lights are certainly coming on at different times so that we don't have too much of an energy draw on this room at any one given time. But these peppers have done really well up here. And this is a spray that I'm using because we do have a problem with spider mites in the space. Actually, I think any indoor growing you're going to do, you're eventually going to get spider mites here in the desert. But this spray is just simply a mixture of onion, cayenne, and garlic. And basically, it's infused into the water. You just chop all this up, the onion, the garlic, and then you add some cayenne powder. You let it soak overnight, then you strain it. You have to strain it because the cayenne will clog your bottle, sprayer nozzle. And then you just spray it, right? And that really helps a lot. It doesn't specifically kill them off or get rid of them, but here comes our water now. But it keeps them under control. And I have a couple of nozzles here that I need to check just to make sure they're all getting water. You don't want to like breathe in too much of that spray though, because it's kind of like macing yourself, right? Let's see how we're doing. This one back here, this tray doesn't seem to be getting as much. It's not too bad. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream so that I can check my nozzles because it's only going to run for 2 minutes. Thanks for watching.